Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Hope you're all well. We are here again, yet again. And I'm live in an hour and a half as well. 8 p.m. UK time. I'll be live over on MichelleAfterDark talking about Kylie Rodney. So if you're interested in Kylie Rodney's case, then head on over there after this live finishes, and I'll see you there. But for today, we are going to talk about some very interesting news, very good news to start with. But it's interesting because I've done some digging, and it seems that there's two rival gangs that are at the heart of all of this. And let's name some names. Let's do it. Okay, so let's have a see who's in the house while people are coming in. Hi, JD, D Goodwin, Trixie Star. Thanks for modding, Trixie. Sarah, Rena, Mississippi Girl, Mummy of Hamsters, Secret End of the Video Club. Real Talk with Jess, Moon Shadow, CCK. Trixie's put my link for MichelleAfterDark in there. So if you've found this channel, but somehow not found MichelleAfterDark, that is my main channel. This is my second channel. But I cover true crime content on both. I like put content on both channels. So, but if you've somehow found this channel and not that, then it's MichelleAfterDark. Hi, Sandy, Spider Lady. Hi, all from Ireland. Oh, that's not too far from me. Cecile, Shay, Cat Lover 33. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, Shay's in Tasmania. Oh, that's just as far away from me as you can get. That is literally the other side of the world. I mean, literally the other side of the world for me. Kath Ellis, Lady Jane. So we've got some people coming in. Good, good, good. Melissa, been waiting on me. Well, that's good. I was on time. I think I was on time. May have been a minute late, but Diane, Inquisitive Jade, Gypsy Girl. Right, without further ado, I am going to start because I'm streaming again at 8. So, you know, I need to keep this focused. Doesn't mean to say we can't have a chat, but I've got quite a bit to go through. So I was woken this morning with some very good news. Very pleased. I'll just take this down. Shall I take the banner down? Maybe I'll take the banner down. Maybe I don't need to take the banner down. Let's see what it looks like on my other screen. I've got YouTube up on my other screen. Yeah, I'll take the banner down just for now, because it's getting in my way. All right. Okay, so Merseyside police. So late last night, they raided an apartment block in Huyton, which is a suburb of Liverpool. So for those of you who don't know anything about this case, 9-year-old Olivia Pratt-Korbel was brutally murdered in her own home in a place called Dovecot in Liverpool. So Dovecot's another suburb of Liverpool. There was gunshots heard outside, and Olivia's mother, Cheryl, opened the door to see what the commotion was. And a 35-year-old man was being chased. The 35-year-old man is called Joseph Nee. He's been named by Liverpool. Liverpool have named him. The police haven't named him, but it was Liverpool that gave the police the name, and they arrested him. He was being chased by a masked gunman who barged his way, the 35-year-old man, Joseph Nee, barged his way into Cheryl and Olivia's home. This was about 10 p.m. on Monday night. And Olivia was just getting ready for bed, and she came downstairs to see what the noise was. 35-year-old man Joseph Nee barged in. The gunman followed him, shot Joseph Nee, shot Cheryl, and shot little Olivia in the chest. Joseph Nee escaped. The coward that he is got a friend to pick him up to take him to hospital before the police arrived. And Olivia lay dying. The police rushed her to Alderhay Children's Hospital, which is one of the best children's hospitals in the entire country. So if anybody could have saved her, they could have saved her. But unfortunately, it was too late. She died. So this was a murder inquiry. The police have had a huge outpouring of support from the public. And I first talked about this on Tuesday, and I said that there's a huge criminal fraternity. Every city in Britain has criminal gangs, and there's gang warfare. And the average person doesn't see this gang warfare. It's just unfortunate that the gang warfare made it onto Olivia's street, and Olivia paid the ultimate price. Completely innocent victim. Her family has no connection with Joseph Nee or with the gunman. So this is purely the fact that he saw an open door, he rushed in, and then the gunman followed suit. So there's been a huge outpouring of support. Loads and loads of tips have come in. People who may not usually grass possibly have, because in Liverpool there's a code of honor, right, in Liverpool, and there's a strong sense of solidarity in Liverpool as a city, and it's a big football city as well. There's two big football clubs, soccer for you guys in America. Liverpool FC, which is one of the biggest clubs in the entire world, in the soccer world. And then Everton, the kind of, small under, Everton. There's Everton as well. Both of those clubs have come out and given their support. And some of the Everton players actually even made videos. I posted a couple of the videos, and the Everton manager, Frank Lampard, also gave a message in tribute, basically telling people that enough is enough. Gun crime, knife crime, gang crime cannot continue. Liverpool has had enough. So the hashtag enough is enough was trending in Liverpool. So late last night, what you've been seeing for a while, is the footage. This is aerial footage from the police helicopter of Joseph Nee, not Joseph Nee, the gunman. Now, the gunman hasn't been named, right? So Joseph Nee is in hospital. He was the intended victim. He is refusing to answer any questions. We'll come back to this in a sec, because there's a report here. Now, yes, it is the Mail Online, so, they're a dubious source. But there was a chilling threat posted on a relative of Joseph Nee's that said, "Snitches get stitches." I mean, how childish is this? So a relative of a drug dealer who was the target of a shooting that killed 9-year-old Olivia Pratt-Korbel had a post on their Facebook account showing a gun with the caption, "Snitches get stitches." So although the police haven't named him, the media have. It's him. We've got his photo. We know it's him. So it seems that his family aren't very nice people. And according to the media, he is not cooperating. He is not helping the police with their inquiries. Did I expect him to? No, I didn't expect him to. I didn't expect him to. But you better start talking, because Liverpool has got questions. So late last night, he was arrested, the gunman. So the gunman who intended the bullets for Joseph Nee was arrested. So Liverpool, it's up to you guys to name this fella, because I need a name to pursue my inquiries, so to speak. Well, yeah, Nana. Both those thugs are convicted, need to get death sentences and carried out. Yeah, well, wait till I get into what I've got to tell you. Because this runs very deep, it seems. This runs very, very deep. And it didn't take a whole lot of digging to find some names that Joseph Nee allegedly is connected to. And by extension, the gang who is in some kind of gang warfare with the gang that Joseph Nee is connected to. Now, Joseph Nee is probably just like a bit player. He's probably like a courier or something along those lines. He's got an extensive criminal history. He's been done for drug dealing. He's been done for burglary, dangerous driving, the whole caboodle, right? He's been inside. He's not happy about going back inside. He was actually out on license. So once he's finished his treatment in hospital, he's going back to prison. And hopefully they keep him in prison this time. So, because although this guy is probably only a bit player in this whole gang warfare, right, he's obviously somebody that this gang, this notorious Liverpool gang, has got in their sights. So keep him in jail is what I'm going to say. So who is this gang that Joseph Nee is connected to, and why have why was there a hit out on him? Because presumably the gunman who was after him, I'm only assuming now, this is just my speculation, I don't know this at all for a fact at all, right? Everything I say in this stream is alleged, obviously. The names I'm going to name are out there, so they're out there. I'm not naming any names that I shouldn't do, but everything I say is alleged. So it's alleged that Joseph Nee has got connections with this gang, and the police have been after this gang and their rival gang for quite some time, and they've been piece by piece unraveling this gang. So gangs, two gangs, rival gangs. So we now have this situation where Joseph Nee is going to go back to prison, and we've got this gunman. So why was there a hit out on Joseph Nee is the question, because presumably the gunman is not going to be a gang leader. He's going to be one of the henchmen. He's going to be one of the ones who chases justice, justice. Because when somebody steals £1 million worth of cocaine from you, oh yes, guys, we're talking £1 million industry. Hold on to your hats, because this is going to get interesting. And when I said in my Facebook group that I'm going live at 6:30 because I've got some things, I really mean I've got some things. Because this is all about $1 million theft. No, £1 million. I keep saying dollar because I'm so used to doing American cases, I forget my own currency. So £1 million worth of cocaine was stolen. And when you have £1 million worth of goods stolen from you, right, you're going to be a bit peed off, aren't you? You're going to be a bit peed off, right? But because it's cocaine and it's it's a big underworld. You can't ring the cops. You can't ring 999, which is our emergency line. in the UK. You can't ring 999 and say, can you send some officers out? I've had my £1 million worth of cocaine that I was stashing in my house. Yeah, I need it back. Can you send some officers out? Because I want to report a robbery. Can't do that, can you? So what do? You take justice. You take your own justice. And this seems to be what has happened. That Joseph Nee is in connection with the group, the gang, that stole £1 million worth of cocaine. So I'm assuming that the gang who had this theft against them is going to try to take out all the people connected. But the police have already taken some of them off the streets. So this is where some of the names come in. Should I do this first from Liverpool Echo? No, I'll do the YouTube video first. This is just 3 minutes. It's from the Liverpool Echo, and it tells a very brief story of the £1 million worth of cocaine raid. Right. And then I can dig into the story then and kind of fill in the gaps that you might have. All right, so this is from the Liverpool Echo. I will put this link in the chat. And I'm using this obviously under fair use. Okay, and after the live, I will put this, I'll put all these links in the description box after the live. Okay, so I'll need to mute out, I think. So I'll play this. Let me know if there's an echo. I can see the chat over on my other screen. So just let me know if there's an echo or something weird going on. So there's no sound. Right, okay, right. I'll start again. I might have to go out and come back in. Right, we'll start again. Hopefully, I've unmuted myself. So, yeah, hopefully this will solve it. It's only a 3-minute long video anyway. So, and the news story that I'm going to read to you tells us all this anyway, and it just fills in some more of the gaps. I just thought this would be an interesting little video to show you. So, right, let's try it again. What do you mean that's better, Sally? I've not started the video yet. I want to know if oh, you've deleted your comment. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I'm going to start the video now, so let me know if there's an echo.
Richard Caswell, a notorious Liverpool criminal, took part in a violent raid at a Liverpool house when £1 million worth of cocaine was stolen. The Liverpool man conspired with the Cox crime family to steal 30 kilos of cocaine from a house on Croxdale Road West in Huyton. The drugs belonged to a well-known Liverpool organised crime group. A father and son suffered serious injuries during the raid when they were slashed and beaten by Caswell, as well as Jason and Craig Cox. The father suffered a deep wound to his arm, and his son was hit on the head with an axe. Richard Caswell helped organise the raid, along with Salford men Jason and Craig Cox. Ben Monks Gordon, who was dressed up to look like a delivery driver, was also involved. Caswell, from North Liverpool, was jailed for life in 2005 for his part in a wave of car bombings across the city and was released from prison on licence in 2019. CCTV was played at Manchester Crown Court, which showed the men arriving in a van outside the house on Croxdale Road West in May 2020. The men were then seen returning to the van minutes later when they put what appeared to be stolen drugs in the boot of the van. The court heard how the gang stole around £1 million worth of cocaine during the raid. Alex Langhorne, prosecuting, told the court how Caswell and Jason Cox had been involved in a concerted plan to rob a Liverpool organised crime group. Mr. Langhorne said that the men had tracking devices put on cars in the build-up to the raid and organised several practice runs. The gang were eventually caught and identified by police when Ben Monks-Gorton, who worked for the Cox gang, accidentally dropped a COVID mask at the house during the raid. Police were able to identify Monks-Gorton through DNA evidence. Monks-Gorton pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit robbery and was jailed for 6 years and 9 months. Judge Field also sentenced Michael Anthony Nevin, a trusted courier who moved drugs and cash around for the Cox brothers. Nevin was not involved in the raid at the stash house, but pleaded guilty to conspiracy to supply cocaine, conspiracy to supply cannabis, and conspiracy to possess criminal property. He was jailed for 9 years and 9 months. Caswell will be sentenced with Jason Cox, Craig Cox, and Lee Cox next month. The 4 men pleaded guilty to drugs offences and possession of criminal property.
Okay, so that was from the Liverpool Echo. So I'll just come back to the chat a minute to answer a few of the comments, and then we'll dig into that story, and we can talk about how the police caught him, because how the police caught him is really interesting, and it means that the police have a whole lot more information. And again, my opinion, just my opinion, my opinion, that's all I'm saying. But the police will have a lot of information because they've cracked into this secret network that these guys were using. And it's not just this gang that has been infiltrated, it's also the other side of the gang. So the fact that they've been able to get this gunman that killed Olivia, now I've learned all of this, I am not surprised that they got him so fast, because I think they knew where to look. Once they got Joseph Nee and his associate, because a second man was also detained, I think they knew where to look. So, okay, so there's a few comments that I just want to refer to here. How did a father and son buy £1 million worth of coke? Because it's a big gang. Because it's an organised crime syndicate that has entrenched itself. Thank you, Cecile, for the $9.99. What does unlicensed mean? I'll tell you that in a minute. Thanks for the $9.99 though. How did a father and son buy? Because it's a massive industry. In every city in my country, we have organised crime. Even smaller towns have huge problems with organised crime. And it's difficult for the police to crack them because nobody snitches. Snitches get stitches, as Joseph Nee's relative quite nicely wrote on Facebook. People don't snitch, and people who know these people also don't snitch because they know that it'd be worse for them and their family. These guys will stop at nothing, right? The fact that this gunman shot a 9-year-old child and they left her bleeding to death does not surprise me. Now I know who this is all connected to. And this has been going on for years and years and years. Right. There's 2 of the guys are from a city just outside of Manchester called Salford, which has had massive problems with gangs and organised crime. Much of it surrounds drugs, sale of weapons, and prostitution. Those are the 3 things that go hand in hand. Now, it doesn't mean to say that every single member of every single gang takes part in these 3 things. Some of them specialize, right? So this father and son, they're probably not the big bosses of this gang. These guys are just holding this stuff, right? But they've been obviously targeted. And when we read the story, you'll see how they did it. So around the Salford area of Manchester, there's been a big problem. I'm going back quite a few years now. I mean, I don't know how bad it is now, but there was a big problem with human trafficking. It was big. Like there was places that were acting as like brothels, if you will, that were getting busted on a regular basis. And it's all the same people that's connected. It's a multi-million-pound industry. When I talk about trafficking in relation to Summer Wells case, it's because I know about trafficking, and it's because I know because it's here. We've had a big problem with it here. Right, I'm 28 miles away from where Olivia was murdered, and I'm about the equal distance away from Salford in Manchester. I'm kind of right in the middle between Liverpool and Manchester, and I hear both, you know, the news from both camps, both sides. So it's totally not surprising that they left that girl, Olivia, bleeding to death, because the scale of what these guys are doing is astonishing. It's absolutely astonishing. And now, you know, the police have started to crack these gangs and use technology to be able to break into their technology. Because the gangs, we're not talking about kids. We're not talking about gang. When people think about gangs, right, they think about groups of lads drinking White Lightning on street corners, like annoying people. That's not the kind of gang I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who are prepared to commit murder for next to nothing. You've got no idea how many people have been murdered in Manchester and their bodies have been put in canals and they've never been found. It's alarming, right? And how the police for many, many years turned a blind eye. But when things get this bad, then obviously these guys, the police, they're going to act. I'm just getting rid of this user. Oh, thank you, Trixie. I'm assuming it's Trixie's got rid of the porn bomber. Thank you, Trixie. Oh, God, they gave a lot of messages and all, didn't they? What, 5? You got 5? Oh, dear me. So, yeah, that's how a father and son were able to buy £1 million worth of cocaine. It's probably because they didn't buy it. They didn't buy it, right? There's a whole gang, a whole organised crime. That's why I said on Tuesday when I did my first live on this topic, on Olivia's case, there were loads of comments from you Americans in the chat saying, I thought guns were illegal in England. And yeah, handguns are. And I said, it's so easy. I could go and get a gun now, right? I don't want one, but I'm saying, right? You know, it's a huge industry. It's a huge industry. Drugs, weapons, prostitution. And that's why I say, relating to the Summer Wells case, if you have drug gangs, if you have people, even those relatively low down, then you also have a capacity for the same networks to be used to traffic humans, that are used, the corridors that are used to bring drugs into a particular area or a country, they're used also to traffic humans in and out of that area. I've seen it, guys. Not saying Summer has been. I'm just saying when I talk about it in relation to Summer's case, that's how I know, not just making it up. Thank you, Jane, for the £5. The father and son will have been paid to be the stash house. Yes, absolutely. They will hold drugs, guns, knives, even gang members until the drugs are distributed. You are absolutely right, Jane. You are absolutely right. Okay, so to Cecile's super chat. Where was it? There we go. What does on license mean? It means they've been released from prison, but they've got special conditions. So whatever those conditions are is ordered by the judge. So it could be no contact with this person, that person, the other person. It could be you don't go to this area or that area, or there's a whatever the judge decides. So they're released from prison, but they're monitored and they've got these special conditions. And if they breach any of those conditions, then they're rearrested and they go back inside. Simple as that. That's what on license means. Any more questions? Can get coke delivered quicker than a takeaway. You can just walk around the corner here and get some. Not that I do drugs at all. I'm just saying. Yes, it is. I mean, sometimes we used to call it parole. We used to call it parole, out on parole. But it seems to be that now the term is on license, because they're out on a special license. So they're not free. They're just out on special license. And as I said, that can be determined by the judge. Okay. Go ahead, punk, make my day. You can clip that if you want, somebody. Clip channel can have that. You're welcome. Okay. All right. Let's go back to this story and the notorious crime gang that Joseph Nee has connections with. Let's go back there. Okay, so again, this is the Liverpool Echo. The YouTube clip that I played there was from the Liverpool Echo. They've done a huge amount of work. They are very, very good at their reporting. So the Liverpool Echo are a news outlet. Actually, if you go to Liverpool, you can buy the Liverpool Echo as a newspaper, but they publish a lot. They have really good social media, and they produce some really detailed stuff. And they don't hold back, right? Just like it's the Liverpool, it's a Liverpool spirit, right? The Echo is Liverpool. That they don't hold back. They say what they mean, and they mean what they say. All right, so this is Richard Caswell. He's actually got a nickname. His nickname is Will. So let's have some guesses. Why do you think his nickname's Will? That's right, Sally. Lots more out on license because of COVID. And bizarrely, it was a COVID mask that caught one of these guys. DNA on his COVID mask. At least he was wearing a mask. That's all we can say. Not getting any comments as to why this dude's known as Will. Will do. No, I can't see it, so I'm not surprised because he'll do anything. Apparently not. Although he might. he might do anything. I don't know. I couldn't vouch for that. Something about Prince William. No, allegedly he looks like Will Young, the singer. I can't see it. I can't see it, but you know, whatever. I just thought it was an interesting factoid. Maybe he will do anything. I don't know. Anyway, let's read this through. So an organised crime group that was linked to a wave of car bombings in Liverpool has been targeted by police as a result of the Encrochat investigation. So what is Encro, I hear you say? Encrochat. It's like, I suppose you could say it's like a part of the dark web. It's a chat function. And you can get, apparently, Encrochat phones. And these guys have been speaking to each other and arranging crime, whether that's drugs or weapons sales or bombings or whatever it is they're doing, through this Encrochat. And the police cracked it. So they've been able to like get intelligence through this Encrochat thing and nail a lot of these guys. And they've been taking them out step by step. So, yeah. So this violent gang, led by some of the city's most notorious criminals, bombed nightclubs, homes, and police stations during a wave of violence in 2003 and 2004. At one point, police officers targeted the crime group and were advised to wear body armour while off duty in case they were identified by criminals involved. Richard Caswell, who carried out some of the bombings, was later jailed for life. By jail for life meant 14 years. Because he was jailed in 2005, but then he was let out on license in 2019. Big mistake, because he hasn't learned any lessons. Well, I don't know. Maybe he has. But yeah. So, pled guilty to drug offences and possessing criminal property. Will be sentenced later this year. So this was when? This was July. Oh, it's only last month, July 24th. So this guy's inside. He's inside awaiting sentence. Okay. The North Liverpool man conspired with the Cox brothers from Salford. So we've got Jason Cox. We've got, I can't remember the other Cox. It comes up later. There's actually 3 Coxes. But anyway, 3 Coxes were eventually arrested. So, the North Liverpool man, Caswell, conspired with Cox brothers from Salford to target a stash house on Croxdale Road West in Liverpool. Now, Croxdale Road West is not far from Olivia's home. So, this gang, this stash house, has been quite close to Olivia's home, right? But Olivia's family don't have anything to do with gangs or crime or these guys. They don't do anything. Right? They don't know these guys. So father and son, as we saw in the video, were slashed and beaten during the raid. So the stolen drugs were later sold to Leon Atkinson, an associate of notorious criminal Dale Cregan. Do we know who Dale Cregan is? You see, 70% of my audience is in America. Now, to British people, Dale Cregan is well known because the chat takes a while to catch up. I don't know whether you know who Dale Cregan is. Anyway, he's a notorious criminal. Very, very dangerous. Exactly, Suzette. This case goes deep. And I've only scratched the surface. I have literally only scratched the surface of this. So Dale Cregan, big crime person, horrible man, horrible man. He set up a sting operation for two police officers, two police women, young police women. He reported like a crime. These two police officers turned up and he just shot them. Like for nothing. Two young women, just shot them down, gunned them down for nothing. That's Dale Cregan. So anybody that Dale Cregan is connected with, the police will not hesitate. Right? The police will not mess about. When I heard Dale Cregan's name, I thought, oh yeah, this is why the police are on this. Because this gang is connected to Dale Cregan. So the stolen drugs. So that, remember, this is 30 kilograms of cocaine worth £1 million. These were sold to someone called Leon Atkinson, who's an associate of notorious criminal Dale Cregan. Police exposed the conspiracy as a direct result of penetration of the Encrochat network, which was used by criminals all across Europe to facilitate crime. Probably one shining star. I don't know whether he was part of the gang, but he was obviously known to. Probably was. Yeah, probably was. I'd have to dig a little bit more to find out, but I'm guessing. So Caswell was released from prison on license in 2019 and appears to have resumed relations with the organised crime group responsible for the car bombings. So he's not learned his lesson. The crime group is said to control a security company, which it uses to front its criminality. Because what these people do is they use front companies, right? Quite a lot of them use trucking companies to traffic drugs and traffic humans. Like trucking companies are one of the big ones, but security company, any company really, but yeah, uses as a front. Caswell associated with a number of well-known businessmen and developers through his associations with the security firm. So he's got a lot of people in his back pocket. The Echo also understands that the old Swan man, Martin Grant, was linked with the same organised crime group. Grant was jailed for 14 years in June at Liverpool Crown Court. Heard he acted as a wholesale broker in the UK for drugs imported from South America. And it goes on and on and on. So Grant was jailed for 10 years in 2015 for slashing a man across the face with a knife. Trusted sources have told the Echo that Grant was affiliated with the same North Liverpool crime group as Caswell. So this is a Europe-wide operation. What's this going on? Breaking news at the bottom here. I can't see because of my StreamYard thing. Like, car park sealed off after man something or other. I'll just click on that. Let's have a look. Oh, dear Lord. Live updates. Car park sealed off after man stabs himself. Oh, dear Lord. At Kirkby. I know Kirkby. Not far from here. All right, where were we? Okay, so Operation Venetic, which is the police-led investigation into the use of Encrochat phones, has now compromised a number of powerful crime groups across the city. Notorious criminals linked to one notorious drug gang is now serving long prison sentences. Speaking earlier this year, Detective Chief Superintendent Mark Carmine, and Carmine is the guy that spoke yesterday at the press conference. Thank you, Mississippi Girl, for the $10. Justice for Olivia. Absolutely, justice for Olivia. This can't continue. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. It really is. Because these guys, right, they can run about all day and all night for me, playing gangsters, shooting up each other, right? But when they, all right, inadvertently, but absolutely unnecessarily and callously and just bizarrely shoot a a 9-year-old girl in the chest and leave her dying, leave her bleeding on her stairs. As she comes downstairs to see what her mum's looking at, she's shot in the chest and they leave her bleeding. Enough is enough. So Mark Kameen is the chief police, the police chief who fronted the press conference yesterday, saying, "We will find you." Well, I think he was that confident when he said, "We will find you." Those were his words, "We will find you." And only a few hours later, they raided an address in Huyton. They knew where they were going. They knew where they were going already. That was already in the planning. They knew where they were going already. They were just playing with him, I think. So he said, "It's the single most impactful tactic against serious and organised crime that policing has ever experienced." So they've cracked Encrochat. So traffickers, drug traffickers, weapons sales, trafficking groups, like human trafficking groups, who've been using this Encrochat across Europe have now been compromised. It's fantastic that the police have done this. And remember, this is only a month old, this article. But I would never have dug into this had it not been for Olivia and just thinking, hold on a minute, can I find anything out? You know, is there anything that I can link? And then I saw this somewhat dubious source. I mean, it was a newspaper, like a news kind of website that I'd never heard of before. But they named the Cox brothers and the links with this group, this gang, and the links with Joseph Neate. So I looked into it and thought, oh, you're right, you know. You're right, you know. And it's all there. It all came out last month. So it's interesting that all this news came out last month, and then just a month later, we have the shooting of Olivia, which was intended for Joseph Neate. The bullet was intended for Joseph Neate. Right? They intended to kill Joseph Neate. They shot him. This man shot him, but didn't kill him. He's not going to survive. Just saying, not going to survive. Now it appears, and this is just my speculation, shall we say, but this is from January, and this is on the CPS website, so the Crown Prosecution website. So this is the official website of UK policing, right? The Crown Prosecution Service, so not UK policing, they like the court system, Crown Prosecution Service. So this is talking about these other two dudes here. These are brothers as well. Peter Moogan and Michael Moogan. Do you think he got teased at school? Michael Moogan. It's kind of a funny name, isn't it? Michael Moogan. Maybe that's why he turned to crime. Anyway, two Merseyside brothers who were using the same encrypted phones to buy and sell cocaine on a commercial scale have been jailed. The Crown Prosecution Service said Peter Moogan, 39, of Salerno Drive in Huyton, and Peter Moogan of Boundary Road in Huyton were leading figures in a large-scale drug conspiracy. They were using a so-called Encrochat phone with the handle Pale Flame to buy and sell large quantities of drugs. Organised crime gangs have been using these phones for some time and believe they couldn't be hacked by the police. Well played. You believed you couldn't get hacked. Well played. Well played. I take a bow. Take a bow to you, Michael Moogan. Michael Moogan. We should call him Noogle. Noogle the Moogle. Oh, they're going to come for me. I don't care. I've got a sword. They've got guns. I've got a sword. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Who's going to win? They're going to go like Michelle. What are you going to do with that? Allegedly, I've got a sword. Allegedly. Right, allegedly. Okay, so in June 2020, international police forces managed to access the stored messages from the Encrochat platform. Several prosecutions have followed throughout Europe, including Britain. So these guys who've been using this Encrochat throughout Europe, right? It's not just Britain where these guys have been taken out one by one. It's all throughout Europe. The systems are breaking down because they thought Encrochat couldn't be hacked. So, oh, what are them dogs barking at? Encrochat users don't use. Can you hear that? That is absolutely pathetic. Next door's dogs out in the garden. I've got dogs either side who don't care. They absolutely don't care that they get barked at. It's unbelievable. They don't care. And these two clowns are out there barking. And it's pathetic as well. So I don't know whether you can hear it or not. Cassie will protect me. She won't. Tilly will. Tilly will protect me. Tilly will. Tilly would take a bullet for me. Cassie wouldn't. Cassie wouldn't. She, unless I got smackaroos, and then she might. She might to defend her smackaroos. She's not very loyal, Cassie. But Tilly is. Tilly's dreadfully loyal. All right. Encrochat users don't use their real names. Well, they wouldn't do if they were called Michael Moogan. Would you use your real name? Would you? Known as handles, false names known as handles. The police have managed to establish a true identity of the users by analysing their individual messages and personal information. The police chased the pale flame Encrochat phone to the Moogle brothers, because they shared their postcodes. Oh my God, this is how ridiculous they are. Oh, this is how ridiculous they are. They're obviously not that bright. They're not that bright. I'm in Lancashire as well, Laura. Wave, wave. Yeah, so they shared their postcodes and identifying photographs of family members, vehicles, and property. You're using encrypted phones and you share all of your personal information on a secret phone. Oh my God. Well, you deserve to get caught. Unusually, in this case, the brothers were using the same phone to deal drugs. The police tracked their messages between February and June 2020. Oh dear. Dear. Anyway, it's hilarious. The reason why I've picked these two, because there's a bunch of stories. There's a bunch of stories about this Encrochat. I'm really going to have to dig into Encrochat. Thank you so much, Suzette, for the 329.99 South African Rand. I don't know what that is in British pounds, but thank you so much. Thank you. So I'm going to have to dig into Encrochat and find out exactly what this is and how it's being used to take these absolute buffoons down. I mean, these two are buffoons. You've been sharing your postcode and pictures of your family. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Take a bow, you guys. Take a bow. Take a bow. Look at you. So either, right, these two, they're in Huyton. So Huyton's the same place where our gunman, Olivia's killer, was arrested last night. So either these are on the gunman's side or they're on the other side. I don't know what side these guys are on. But they are pick. The police are pick at these gang members. So I need as many names as possible, and I want the gunman's name. So if Liverpool can provide me with the gunman's name, that will help my research immensely. Thank you so much, Sarah Mee. Thank you for covering this, Michelle. Northern and proud, up the north. Yeah, you'll never walk alone. You absolutely will not. Thank you. £8.99. Cheers. Right. So that's what I've got to tell you. That's what I've got to tell you. So I'm right at the beginning of my research on this. And as far as I know, I'm the only YouTuber covering it. And I think this story, if this was in America, this story would have got a way bigger audience. I mean, how many people are in my chat now? 387. I could have easily doubled this. Like a Summer Wells stream would have easily doubled the number of people in my chat right now. And thank you all for being here. But I want as many people to know about this story as possible. Not just for Olivia. It was bad enough, right? It was horrific to hear what happened to Olivia. And my heart goes out to her family. You know, they are now part of that horrific club, you know, that nobody wants to join. I'm part of that club. Nobody wants to join that club. My heart goes out to them. But this is much bigger. This is much bigger than the murder of one little girl. This is not little, you know, lads playing gangsters who just happened to shoot a girl by accident. It's way bigger than this. And the $1 million cocaine, this stealing of this cocaine, it seems to be the thing that's triggered this rivalry between these two gangs. So one side, the gunman, and the other side, Joseph Nee. So his gang and his gang. It seems to be that £1 million theft of the cocaine that sparked this rivalry. But the police have already cracked Encrochat. So how are these criminals? The criminals are going to have to get one step cleverer now. And hopefully they're cleverer than these two absolute buffoons here, these two buffoons who shared their postcode and family pictures and properties and, you know, probably thought, yeah, look at my new car that I've got with my drug money. Look at my new car. Look at this. Look at this, what I bought. My word. So hopefully, you know, they're a bit cleverer than that. The guys that developed this software, this special stuff, you know, to so that people can hide in plain sight using secret forms. It is indeed. It is indeed. It is. It's one of the greatest cities in the world, but it's got a huge problem with drugs, and it always has had. It's because of its history as a port, and also it's very diverse. It's a historical thing with Liverpool. But one thing that you can be absolutely sure about is that even the biggest criminals in Liverpool will not mess with kids. So these guys are on the ropes now. You know, the few that will stick with, you know, snitches get stitches, the few that stick to that are going to be scared. They'll be scared. Going to be scared. Because there was some talk last night, it was in the news, that this gunman could have gone overseas. Like he could have fled overseas because they thought he might be, and this was just the news speculating, they thought he might be connected to an Albanian gang that's been doing things in Liverpool, but seemingly not. I mean, I don't know. He might be Albanian, or he might be. I don't know whether he's British or what. I don't know what his nationality is, but obviously not. He didn't flee anywhere. He was there at home in Huyton, probably thinking that the police had no idea where he was. You know, probably laughing at Mark Kameen saying, "We will find you," and then a few hours later, bang, 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 bang. You know, ram raid through the door. Caught on camera. Caught on camera. They are idiots, yeah. Sharing the postcode and the... Dear me. They are. Absolute morons. Morons, morons, morons. Oh, yeah. Long history of gangs. Every city has. Every city has in the UK. The gangs are big. Even the smaller towns, you know, the ones that don't have city status, have got problems with gangs. And it's all around drugs. All around drugs. But there's gangs and there's gangs. And these are the big guys. These are the ones who just keep £1 million worth of cocaine just in the house. You know, so yeah. And there we have it. There we have it. Oh, these guys are back. These porn bombers are back. Oh, Trixie. Trixie's like, she's like hot off the draw there. Thanks, Trixie. Got him again. I thought I was going to get him then, but you got him. Anyway, I'm going to go because in half an hour, I am going to be live again over on Michelle After Dark talking about Kylie Rodney. So I'll continue to follow this story, but I'm going to be digging into Encrochat and I'm going to see what else I can find and what else, how these gangs are all connected. I want to do some research on this. Let's have a look. Let's have an investigation. Michelle's own investigation into these gangs and see how far it goes. See how far it goes. All right. So head over to Michelle After Dark. In half an hour, I am going to start another live and hopefully I'm going to see some of you there.